Hi, good afternoon. This is Craig Taggart. It's about 3:30 Pacific time here in California on Wednesday, August 5th. I'm in Orange County, California, and hopefully you're all doing well wherever this video may find you. I suppose many of you are on vacation, a place that I would much rather be, but I am working today. I am working on a video for and discussing finance and the economy and some upcoming new firm that I am creating. So anyway, I just want to kind of make this video today, discuss who I am, what I'm about, and what's upcoming here in the next month or so. I've spent several years in the investment industry. I started out at UBS of financial services and have worked my way up to the capital markets, doing deals, and very happy with my progress, very happy with my development, very happy with my network. And I think making videos like this really helps a younger executive professional like myself try to really build a platform, really build a brand as far as what I'm trying to accomplish, and hopefully that resonates with some of you, and we can connect, whether it's through LinkedIn, which I'm very active in, or simply through YouTube, which is obviously where this video is headed upon completion. But wanted to kind of reach out and just discuss some issues regarding the markets and kind of where I'm headed in my career and why I'm doing what I'm doing. I want to just kind of give you a market update first and foremost. It is my opinion, and very much the opinion of some of the trade journals, finance journals, business periodicals that I read on a pretty regular basis, that we are at a top. And we have passed the top and probably in a slow correction now regarding the overall financial markets. Today the Dow closed at 17,540. S&P closed right a tick under 2,100. You can believe that number from where we were in 2009. And NASDAQ closed at 5139. Yes, higher than it was around 2000, 2001, if you recall those days in the dot-com era. So what does that all mean? Well, what it means is that we're about to repeat something that we sought out to not repeat, and that's a correction, a market crash, a financial system, financial market correction. And it's just based on charts, it's based on fundamentals, it's based on valuations, and everything is in place for that to happen, and I believe it's already happening. Once commodities have started to correct as much as they have, we're talking about gold, silver, iron ore at just rock bottom levels. They're breaking chart levels that haven't been seen in 6 years, going back to where we were during the depths of the recession in 2009. So I do believe that the market will begin, I think it already has begun, to roll over, and interest rate increase is coming in September from Janet Yellen and the Federal Open Market Committee. Quarter point is being factored in by the markets. I don't know how much that will affect the financial markets, but that is being priced in the bond market currently. But wanted to reach out. I'm actually have some very good news, and I'm been wanting to do this my entire career. I started out in the financial advisory business, investment management business, and I now believe that now is the time. And I say that because of just experience. Just overall experience, relationships, knowledge base, it's all there. Just turned 44 years old. I think it's a really good time where I've had about 15 years in the business of finance, financial services, client interaction, understanding trading markets, portfolios, valuing companies, really have a really good grasp of what's out there and what I can provide as a registered investment advisor to my clients, which I envision to be mostly high net worth individuals, but also business owners, and hopefully much deeper into that, into the capital markets as well. So I'm currently in the process. Paperwork has been accepted and reviewed by California Business Oversight. All that process, if you have an RIA in California, you know what I'm talking about. For my RIA, Registered Investment Advisor, to be here in California. The name of that is going to be Global Compliance Management, and I just kind of want to make it about as solid as I could. So I'm going to go by GCM, and there's some, those three key words are very top of mind, very high level, context that people want to be associated with. Bottom line, I think that the terms of investment and wealth and along those lines have been overused to a great extent, and that's the name that I came up with. I think that will resonate from a marketing standpoint, especially by doing videos like this and with my platform and network already established. So very excited to announce that. I think it's going to be a great opportunity for me, and I just think it's one of the best businesses you can be a part of. I've worked at a couple different registered investment advisors in my career. I've been in the financial advisory game, been in investment banking opportunities, so I have a much deeper feel, much deeper understanding of what is really out there and how to really navigate the markets as a whole, but also to really look for and seek out and have relationships with opportunities that are not available to most, and that's mainly on the private equity side. So I think that there's a lot of factors I've thought about and really wanted to factor in before forming my own registered investment advisor, which I think is extremely critical. I think based on my research, there is roughly 3,000 registered investment advisors in the state of California. To be in the top 10% of that, which is basically having north of 100 million under management, which is a good number. It's not a huge number, but it's a good number, especially if you've been in the business a while and the market overall has had a huge run since 2009. So to crack the top 300, I need to get up to 100 million under management. I believe that's very doable, considering the position I put myself in with a number of different opportunities and resources in the marketplace. So I'm just bringing a different perspective to things. I just believe there's a lot of guys out there that are trying to do the same thing, and it's not working for them. They're not able to scale. They're definitely not able to grow into different markets. They don't understand the markets that I've been able to get myself into, and I just believe that I can provide a tremendous amount of value to clients moving forward. I really do, sincerely. Just from a formal education standpoint and a business experience standpoint, there's just a tremendous amount of opportunity. So Global Compliance Management is the name of my registered investment advisor firm here in California. I'll be officially up and running probably fourth quarter of this year. What I think is going to happen, and when I was right the last time, is I think that there's a lot of complacent people out there. I think there's a lot of complacent assets under there that have ridden this market up to where we are now, and they're not doing proper asset allocation strategies. It's just going to repeat itself. Some are better than others, but as a whole, people will get hurt again because they didn't have a strategy. They didn't have their asset allocation strategies correct, and they didn't know when to say when, and start really looking at the fundamental numbers, both from a fundamental standpoint and technical standpoint, and at least being in touch with what's going on overall. So anyway, my background is, as I said, UBS, went to Southwest Securities, and now I'm at BCC Capital Partners. Very active in the business community. One of the reasons I think that this is happening for me is basically time. And I think time is something that none of us can control, but it's also something that can be to your benefit, especially if you are patient and diligent and do your work. And there's been a tremendous amount of opportunities that have opened up for me in the last 2 to 3 years. Many people can't say that. So I believe I'm doing a lot of things right. I do believe in the power of network science. If you want to look up that term as kind of the education term of the day, network science, and that has to do with the power of strategic relationships to open up, different business opportunities throughout certain verticals. That has played a huge role for me, and that continues to be a big part of it. And so I'm very active on LinkedIn. If any of you are on LinkedIn and you're looking for a registered investment advisor, you're looking for somebody who can really bring a holistic perspective to your portfolio, to money management, to the capital markets, to estate planning, to trusts, to asset allocation, 529 plans, Roth IRAs, all of this is part of the mix. And it's something that we're in a time right now where the baby boom generation, or basically people that were born right around the end of World War II, they're all retiring, and they're all leaving corporate jobs, or they're in the process of selling their business or handing down their business. There's a lot of transition occurring within the wealth management space, and that's something that I think needs a lot of critical thinking, real expert analysis to understand where that needs to go, and how to really shape that for the next generation, and really that succession planning that we're all kind of reading about and hearing about, and why that's important, and who's really paying attention at the wheel. So I'm really active on LinkedIn, so I'd love to connect with you on that and just start a dialogue regarding your investment needs, assets needs. Many people, like I came from the wirehouse environment. That's kind of where you start out in the Wall Street game, and that's just an environment where you learn a lot. But still today, when it comes to Merrill Lynch, Morgan Stanley, UBS, those types of firms, they're more than likely making more money than you are. Just letting you know. If you're not already aware of that, which you probably are, they're probably making more money than you are on your portfolio, more often than not. So that's one of the reasons why I left the industry. I didn't think it was in the good, a good long-term goals of the client, and it's just not. So I'm just somebody that really looks forward to working with you. Hopefully we can move forward together and develop a good business relationship. So moving forward, so I talked about LinkedIn. I talked about kind of the platforms I'm working on. One of the platforms I am working on is I'm actually able to speak. I'm actually able to consult. I'm actually able to train and instruct. So I do have a platform there. It's a governance risk compliance platform through 5 different companies now across the country that like the way I talk, like my subject matter, like my experience. So I've been able to really do quite a few webinars and seminars for corporate executives of all types across a lot of different material, verticals, content, and it's very applicable to the business world. So I'm actually able to go out there and speak my message and talk to people on a regular basis. So I think it's a very rare opportunity, which I think lends itself to an opportunity to really grow a registered investment advisor firm, just because I'm involved with some of these topics that you have to deal with from a corporate environment, business owner. So that will put me in touch with a lot of different opportunities to help some clients. So the other one I'm really excited about is a very interesting collaborative network of CPAs. And I was actually able to go through their training program at length. It was 8 classes and 8 or 10 classes, I don't remember, but anyway, it's a way that they're working with registered investment advisors throughout the country. Spoke with a lot of them, met with a lot of them, and or several of them, and all very high-level people. I'm going to be, I'm already a part of that, but there's going to be quite a bit of CPA business. So if you're a CPA out there, I would highly recommend joining this very high-level network of CPAs for your practice, because I know you're being overworked. I know that CPAs are tremendously overworked these days. You're handling every single detail of the client's account, and you need to have a resource in somebody like myself to kind of offset those responsibilities onto a different professional skill set. And that's another reason why I'm forming my own registered investment advisor, because that's just the way CPAs operate, and I just believe that this network will provide a tremendous amount of business from CPAs. I'll be able to connect with CPAs. So if you're watching this video and you're a CPA, I'd be more than happy to talk to you about working with you on a number of different mandates or issues or challenges you're facing when it comes to client interaction, client service. Because my goal is to develop a pipeline of business and serve that client base. Now, I don't believe I can serve my clients any better than anybody else. Everything is a relationship. And I believe client service is important, and I'd love to work with that capacity within a CPA relationship. If it's out there and you're watching this video, let's connect, let's talk, let's discuss, because I definitely have the bandwidth to help you. So anyway, we're kind of talking about some points about why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm tremendously well versed in Investors Business Daily, otherwise known as IBD. I've had a chance to build my own portfolio. I've built my own client portfolios when I was at previous firms I mentioned. Did very well for my clients. I have actually a very extensive fixed income background. So I think that is extremely important when it comes to understanding the importance of duration, understanding the importance of yield, understanding the importance of asset allocation, understanding the importance of dividend reinvestment. All these things need to be looked at and taken into account when you're looking at placing your assets, placing your money, placing your retirement at the right firm. So again, there's a way to do things. I believe there's a lot of guys out there that are former stock jockey guys, worked at Wall Street firms. They're not going to do their analysis. They're going to kind of copy a lot of people that have already done it before. I do my own research. I've got IBD coming to my door every Saturday, and I read it because I like it. It's fun. It's interesting, believe it or not. And I actually like, turning $10 into $100 or $10,000 into $20,000, which I do consistently. So, and if you want to refer to a couple stocks, just for a reference base, if you're familiar with the technology sector, a company based out in the East Coast and also a company based out here in Thousand Oaks by the name of Skyworks Solutions. I was actually a buyer of that stock in the 20s, about 25, 26 in 2011. And if you look at that today, that stock is now trading close to $100 a share, just based on, I believe, 5 or 6 straight quarters of tremendous earnings beats. So another one you might want to look up in the technology sector is a company by the name based in Silicon Valley, is Ambarella. They make chip stocks. They make chips that go into GoPro camera, among one, just to make sure that you're aware of who that company is and who they supply. But Ambarella, symbol is AMBA. Skyworks, symbol is SWKS. So Skyworks went from about 25, 26. I believe it hit about $100 a share in July or June recently. Pulled back a little bit with the market. AMBA, Ambarella, I picked that up about early 2013 at $16 a share. That has done extremely well as well. I believe that is closer to the $90, $95 level as well. Another company you might look at is Lionel Basel. It's a company based out in the Netherlands. Symbol on that is LYB. I picked that up in 2011. That has since had a tremendous run all the way to about $100, $105 a share, and that is in the chemical business. So those are three stocks you might want to take a look at as far as what I was able to do just on a performance metric. But I'm a firm believer in IBD. I'm a firm believer in Investors Business Daily. If you're a firm believer in Investors Business Daily, but you don't want to manage your own money, you don't have the experience, you don't have the knowledge base, you don't have the time, that's the most common conversation I have, is you don't have the time. Your ability is there, your mindset is there, but to manage all this takes a tremendous amount of time. So if you are reading IBD, I'm a big believer in IBD. I'd love to connect with you on that. I'd love to talk shop about that, but I'm a firm believer in that. That's made me a tremendous amount of money, and that's what I'm wanting to pass on to some of my clients when I have my registered investment advisor firm, Global Compliance Management. Another thing is, another strategy I have is option strategies, and a lot of registered investment advisors do not implement option strategies. The main reason for that is they don't understand it. They simply don't understand it. And I just believe it can be a very, very interesting, compelling part of a portfolio in a way to generate income and yield with taking a tremendous position of hedging. And you're taking very limited risk, using very little capital, using 10% usually of the position, and you can really use some very interesting strategies. My strategy is basically using spreads. So if you're familiar with vertical credit spreads on puts and calls, that's what I use. So if you're somebody along those lines that understands that strategy, we'd love to connect with you on that and figure out how to put a strategy in place to help you manage your money, because I'm a firm believer in that as well. So those are some of the strategies that I'm bringing to the table, that I do my own research. I'm not just following an index fund. A lot of these RIAs will manage money and they'll put your assets into an index fund, and you wonder why that they're not beating the benchmark on some of the indexes. Well, that's what they own. They own the index. They're not giving you anything. They're not providing you any value, really. They're just making sure that you're status quo with the index. So that's not what you pay for. That's not what anybody should pay for. So anyway, those are some of the strategies, philosophies I have. I'm a firm believer in, like I said, IBD. StockTwits, I would highly recommend that. StockTwits is on social media. It's one of the most popular social media sites when it comes to publicly traded equity investments of all types. We're talking New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ, Amex, even the bulletin board and pink sheet stocks. So you might want to check out that. But I post a lot of stuff on that. Don't get really a lot of ideas from it, but it's an interesting social media site to help you get educated and aware of news articles and earnings announcements and stuff like that. So, and then there's just opportunities that I bring. I mean, I'm very in touch with a lot of deals. A lot of opportunities that are out there that aren't available to most firms. You know, there's a real estate opportunity now down in San Diego where I've had 5 different capital groups doing their due diligence. I'm talking family offices. Family offices usually manage about $1 billion under management, but they're kicking the tires, doing their due diligence because this group is able to buy commercial real estate and residential real estate, but mostly commercial real estate in retail, industrial, office, pretty much anything throughout California, and they get it and they are aware of it by using a very sophisticated algorithm that allows them to identify non-performing notes or distressed notes, properties, foreclosures, REOs, and they're able to utilize their network to purchase these deals at, on average, 50 to 60 cents on the dollar. So what it is you're basically being able to go into an investment pool where they're raising anywhere from 2 million to 10 million on average of equity, and you can put in anywhere from 100,000 to 500,000 on a potential investment. If you're a high net worth individual, business owner, you understand that number is about right. And then their holding period, which is actually even more compelling, they're able to buy the asset at 50, 60 cents on the dollar. Obviously a competitive process. They usually get about 90% of the deals they go for. So very, very high success rate. And their hold period is anywhere from 12 months to 24 months to help stabilize the asset, fix the asset, lease up the asset, and generate income from the asset during that period. And their cash on cash returns, these are real numbers, are anywhere north of 80 to 100% cash on cash returns. So think about how that could benefit your portfolio. Think about how an asset allocation strategy into that type of opportunity in real estate, which most people that have had any success in life and business or whatever probably have owned real estate. So it's a pretty simple asset class to understand. But if I can bring you that value, if I can bring you those deals, you don't have to invest in them, but at least you're aware of them. At least there's an opportunity to say, hey, Craig, you know what? I really like that opportunity in West LA, or I really like that opportunity in San Diego, or wherever the property might be. It's 50, sometimes you can go as low as that, or $100,000, and you have access to a deal that can generate you, on average, 80 to 100% cash on cash returns. Now tell me that's not going to help your portfolio. What's the risk? Well, there's always risk, but when you're buying real estate, the risk is very often mitigated just because of the type of asset it is. And then when you add on the factor of being able to buy commercial real estate at such discounted prices, and then to be able to understand a philosophy and a strategy that's proven, it makes a very compelling proposition to say this might be worth taking a look at, just from an asset allocation standpoint, just from an investment standpoint. I mean, we know what the market's going to return. We know the market's going to return on average, right? We've all seen the charts from when numbers were created, from when when we started looking back at the historical numbers of what the market can produce. Late 1800s, early 1900s, the average, if you keep your money in the market, you're going to average anywhere from 8 to 10%. And that's fine. 8 to 10% a year is what you're going to average in the market, over time. I'm just going to bring you a different asset class. I'm going to bring you different opportunities. I'm going to bring you a different strategy, a different philosophy on how, my firm is going to separate myself, my firm, from a lot of the competition. And I think there's going to be a tremendous value proposition that my clients can realize in joining Global Compliance Management. I'm very easy to work with. I'm very fun. I work extremely hard, and I just want to work hard for you as a client. So if you're watching this video, if you're active on LinkedIn, if you're a big follower of IBD, if you're a CPA, if you're a business owner, I'd be more than happy to connect with you online, sit down with you at lunch. I'm very hungry. I work extremely hard. I'm here in Orange County, California. I'm married, have a 4-year-old son. Life is good. It's going to get better. Okay? So look forward to working with you. And again, Global Compliance Management, my new RIA firm, is going to be opening up here in the next probably 60 days, depending upon how fast California is able to get me all approved. So thank you for watching. This is about 30 minutes of length. If you made it this far, thank you. And hopefully we can work together in some capacity and be able to make some money together through deal flow, through opportunities in investment management, advisory opportunities. If you have questions, I've got a lot of experience that can probably help you out in one or more ways. So I'm a great resource, and I'd love to hang out and grab a beer sometime if you're ever in Orange County. So with that, I'd be more than happy to give you my contact information. If you want to give me a call, email, I'm always available. So with that, I hope you enjoy your summer, and get ready for a market correction if you're not already positioned. And if you're not aware of how to do that, give me a call. Look forward to working with you. Hope all's well. Take care. Bye.